You're listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shannon Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology coach, and personalizer and coordinator for my district.
What's up? I'm Fuzz. I'm her husband and the producer. I push the buttons.
Button pusher.
And type the things. Not all the things.
Not all the things. A few of the things.
But
you tweak the things that I type.
I tweak the things. Most of my stuff is copy and paste. Welcome to my life.
Yes. So we're on episode
43.
43.
Mm-hmm.
Getting up there in age.
Getting up there in age. Starting to get a little gray.
Yeah.
Lose her hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more relaxed about things.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less to worry about. Just kind of cruising through life now. We're on episode 43, and it's chugging along.
It is. It's snowing outside.
It is. It was supposed to be Snowmageddon, and it ended up being pretty bad, but not a lot of snow.
Yeah, icy and windy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, welcome to Wisconsin.
Yes. If you're listening in the summer, enjoy it.
Yeah. Feel like you're in the snow.
Yeah.
Cool air blowing through the air.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So we are doing kind of a part 2 of our computers discussion that we had back at the start of this season.
Okay. Episode 29, typing and coding apps.
Yeah, we were typing and coding apps, and I said, oh my gosh, there's so many things I want to share. There's going to be a part 2. Welcome to part 2.
Welcome to part dos.
I have so many things. And even today I was like, as we just had this conversation, I'm like, yeah, I was going to talk about like 3 things, but I have 5 because there's so many things in coding and typing, and you can apply them in any class or use them for projects and teach kids these skills. It doesn't just have to be computers class.
Right.
But I have a funny story really quick. So last week we talked about games, not gaming, and I was showing or discussing, I guess, all these like fun rando gamey type things that you could learn problem solving skills from and do team building and whatnot. So I was talking to one of our ag teachers, and I was showing her the steel barn, steel building site.
Yeah.
And her high school kiddos are doing a project at the end of now, because it's the end of the semester.
Oh, sure, yeah.
For running a farm, or putting together livestock and planning food and how much space they need and all this kind of stuff. She's like, oh my gosh, we can build barns. I was like, yes. So I had this great idea, because we need to go over the top with this. And then they can print them in color, and we could zoom them in, and then we could get 3D animals, and we can start haggling them to your bulletin board, so then you'd have 3D animals inside your barn for your ag projects.
That's fun.
She laughed at me.
Take it a step further. Start a GoFundMe, pick the best one,
and then have the barn built on the school property,
and then have the tech team, the tech ed classes,
build the barn.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or we could just 3D print them to start, maybe 3D.
Maybe get a grant. Maybe you could have them raise taxes to build the building. I'm just kidding.
No. But how fun is that? So she was like, yes, I'm going to use this. And they're all they're going to somehow, I don't know if they're all going to do it or just a few of the kids are going to do it. But
I think we thoroughly explained.
It doesn't have to be used for barn building.
But when you talk about barn buildings, because when you first said an ag class, I kind of almost felt the need for those who are not in middle Wisconsin to know that it's agriculture.
An agriculture class. Yeah. I would point out that I grew up in good old Illinois, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up in Illinois. And in my high school, we did not have ag classes.
Yeah, we didn't either. And I grew up in the country.
Yeah. So agriculture, farming. Our kids have farming. So they learn about veterinary science. They learn about there's fishing and fishing and wildlife. Mm-hmm. There's livestock.
Conservation.
There's conservation and foods, farm to table classes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where they actually have chicks.
And they have this thing called FFA, which is the Future Farmers of America.
Yeah. Which I've been told that FFA doesn't actually stand for Future Farmers of America, but that's what everyone assumes it stands for.
Oh, really?
Yes. So it's worth the search now.
Yeah. It is worth the search.
They're it doesn't really stand for that. And I said, really? Because That's what everybody thinks it stands for.
What does FFA stand for?
Are you Googling it?
Yeah. No, according to FFAs.org, it says the letters FFA stand for Future Farmers of America.
Okay. Then, I don't know. Then maybe they were just...
Maybe they're messing with you.
Messing with me, which also could happen. But I'm teaching them how to build barns in 3D. So
yeah, these letters are a part of our history and our heritage that will never change.
Wow. I will also point out that I had never been to a farm breakfast until I moved to Wisconsin. And holy cow, if you ever can go to a farm breakfast, go.
Yes, they're usually in June.
All you can eat pancakes and sausage and eggs.
And milk.
And ice cream. They serve ice cream for breakfast. And if you go to the one in Door County, they put Door County cherries on everything.
Yeah, they're wonderful. They kind of give a little twist for each county that you're in.
Yeah, whatever one that they're kind of known for. Okay, now that we've clearly talked about more about farming than coding, let's get into it.
How to code a farm.
Yeah. So today I decided that so I teach middle school, and I have all types of coders. I have kids that have never coded coming into my class. We do have kids coding like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade at our school, but sometimes they come from different schools or they like have been in different programs or something, so they don't all come in with the same amount of knowledge. So I'm always trying to reach different kids at different capacities while they are coding in my class.
Right.
And so I'm trying to get away from block coding.
Yep.
Because while I think it's fantastic introduction,
it's kind of easy, and
they're like,
what do you do with it?
Yeah. Well, the kids are like challenged by it, but yet they kind of get sick of it at the same time. Like, oh, well, I'll just drag and drop this, and and they can work around things. So we do code.org a lot, which we talked about before.
Yep.
But you can pass it even without meeting all the restrictions of it, kind of. And so they're learning, they're having fun with it. But I was like, hey, I want to try and push them and make them use their brains in a different capacity. So this time, part 2 with coding, I've tried to look. I do have some block coding stuff. I try to look beyond that to meet different needs for kids, but not have so much block coding.
Sure.
So
that makes sense.
Site 1.
Site 1.
Site 1 is called, and it's funny because it's off of a different website. So it's GA- is kind of what it's called.
Okay.
And I explained this to you already, but
General Assembly dash. But what General Assembly is it's kind of like online business classes. You can, like, companies, they offer like online digital marketing class and data analysis and user experience design. So they offer online like regular classes that you can pay for. So it's a paid site. But under online classes, they also offer free learning to code classes. And what I thought was cool, when you go to the site, so it's GA-, it's dash.generalasemb.ly/projects. Okay.
Is how you actually get to this part of it.
Is there a link off the General Assembly?
It says free online coding.
Okay.
So if you go to online classes, click on free online coding.
Got it. Okay. So so if you go, the website it's called General Assembly. That's what the GA stands for.
Yep.
If you go to if you spell out General Assembly as the URL, but just put the dot after the B, so it's generalassembly.ly, that'll take you to the normal site. Then just go in the menu, click, hover over online, and click free learn to code, and that'll take you to where you need to go.
Yes. So what's cool about this site is I'm thinking it would be great for upper middle school or like beginner coding in high school.
Okay.
So not like beginner coding, but kids that aren't super familiar with coding, but in high school, learning some basics. Because what it does is the lessons are built around like business related themes.
Okay.
And they teach you exactly what you would need to know. So like project 1 is build a personal website. Project 2, build a responsive blog theme. Build small business websites. Build a CSS robot.
build Mad Libs games. So there's like different things you can build. So they're fun and they're active. They're not just like sit here and type in this.
Right.
But when you go to it, like make a headline and inputs. It's the first lesson. They give you your lesson on the left-hand side of the screen. You flip through slides, and then it shows you exactly what code you should type. And then on the right-hand side, it shows how it would look on an actual website. So what's nice about this is it's not block coding. It's going to actually teach like coding skills of how to type it in.
Okay.
And then it also teaches kind of the business side of it. Like this is what it would look like if you're designing a website for a client, or if you're in business classes, this is kind of like the start of learning to code basics of adjusting websites or various things.
Yeah.
They tell you how to create like an email form, how to put submit in checkpoints, and there's checkpoints to each one. They show you how to type it, and then they show you like great job. And then in the little lesson box that's in the left hand side of your screen,
Yep.
if you click skills, it then shows you the skills you've learned. So you can put an email input in, you can put like style, body, header, title, text aligning. So it shows you the actual skills that you've mastered while learning to code basic like business stuff.
Sure.
So I think this one would be really great for some of my 8th graders who are beyond the block coding, or those kids in high school, those kids that need a purpose for what they're doing. Like they can make so many robots go around in circles.
Yeah.
But they need to
Like learn why it's happening and how because when you're doing block coding, that drag and drop stuff is just dropping in this code, essentially.
Right. So this is teaching them
how to write the code.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And my favorite thing, like, this is why punctuation matters, or this is why you need to put periods in certain places and capitalizations in certain places, and all of that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool. There's up to 82 skills to unlock and learn as you're going through these checkpoints. And it's really like laid out really nice. I think it would be, and it doesn't look kiddish. It looks very professional. So if you're having high schoolers use it, or some kids that just need to learn some basic skills, maybe some of your students who are, like coming in without any background knowledge, or they want to learn a little, but they're intimidated by it. Like this would be a great place for them to start. So GA dash, and then it's their free coding lessons. So
Cool.
Check them out. I think that they are definitely a great place to start.
Great.
Cool. So our next coding site is called Turtle Academy.
Turtle Academy.
And what's funny is I was looking like the name of Turtle Academy. I've used it once or twice before when we really talked about it.
Yeah.
And I always laugh because some of the names of the websites, like, oh, Turtle Academy must be elementary. And then you look at it, and while it could be elementary, if your elementary kids can't type any sort of code, it's not going to be an elementary site at all. So what's nice about Turtle Academy is you can just use their lessons if you want to, or if you want to log in and register, you can do all of that as well. So you definitely have a choice if you want to sign up for it, or if you just want to practice the lessons, which I always kind of appreciate. Sometimes if I'm using sites that have Google Classroom connections, all I connect all my kids to it, and sometimes I just want them to try something out or use it for a week and explore and maybe do some comparison stuff. So turtleacademy.com, turtleacademy.com. There's a cute little turtle that's slowly running across the screen. And you just click in the bottom, start learn coding. And then there's 24 lessons, and you just click on the lesson and it walks you right through what you need to. On the left hand side, it's got the goal, it's got hints and solutions, and then gives you the different commands and labels and all the things that it's looking for. And then on the bottom, you type in your code. So again, we're typing in your information, you click run, you see if you make the turtle do what he's supposed to do. If not, it says nope, and a giant red warning shows up on the bottom of your screen. There's no like frilly like, oh, almost, like this is just, no, you stink, like try again. It's very straightforward, not a lot of frills, but it's also not block coding, and it's pretty easy for the kids to kind of dig through.
Cool.
I also like it because it has, like I said, quite a few different lessons to pick from, so they can choose from, like variables to colors and printing to learning how to do loops to creating a car. So you can, you kind of pick and choose what lessons you want to have your students try out. So that is turtleacademy.com. You can have your little turtle create things on your screen.
Yeah.
I did pick out a block. I'm using one blocking type of
coder deal, and it's aptly called
Blockly.
Not to be confused with Botley.
Oh.
Which is
the most adorable little coding robot ever.
Yes, but he's expensive.
Not free, people. Yeah. Not free. Okay. Blockly is, though. So Blockly games is the one I usually start with. And to me, if you're an elementary teacher and you want to start coding with your kids, this is a great place to start.
Okay.
I have some teachers like, hey, I've got kids interested in coding. We don't have a ton of time in class because we're doing, ABC, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And we only have 10 extra minutes during indoor recess and, whatever. Right. There's not a lot of time. So Blockly is a great place for them to start. There's a few activities to start with, like puzzle or maze, and this is drag and drop. You don't need to create an account. You don't need to have any extras. It walks you through each step. So, like the move forward block, you stack a couple move forward blocks together and help you reach your goal. You know that's going to help you reach your goal. So it's very straightforward. I like to use the elementary kids who are not strong readers, are very capable of running Blockly. There's not a ton. There are directions in there, but there's also pictures and arrows and things like that. So it's kind of nice that Blockly is there for an introduction to coding or kids that just want to start exploring it and have no experience.
Sure.
There's kind of some cool things. And there's like mazes. You make a bird and you make music. And there's a puzzle. And the puzzle one's really basic.
Yeah, I just won while you were talking.
Your duck and your cat and your bumblebee. What's kind of cool, though, I liked about it, too, is that it requests the number of legs that they have, which is important. But they call it traits. So understanding, like, those are traits of something. Like, sure. The language used, I appreciated that didn't say things that connect to it. Like, traits. Okay, so give me traits of a cat. It has whiskers and fur. Like... I don't know. For some reason, I thought, oh, wow.
Yeah,
like that
those
actually
are the variables. That it's kind of a gateway word to programming.
Yes, exactly. So, Blockly games is just very, again, straightforward, but nice. And there's also there's information for educators, so you can click on that, and then it tells you what games it's teaching, and what coding skills it's teaching with each of the games that they can play. So as a teacher, you get a little background on, like the bird one talks about conditionals, and the turtle talks about loops. So it actually teaches the teachers some coding language with the games to talk about with the kids, which is nice because I'm always working on ways to teach the kids the coding language and understand what the words mean. So, Blockly games.
It's
pretty straightforward, and it's a nice tool to have, especially for beginners.
Right.
So, on that note, my other quick throwing it out there is freetyping.net. We, most of the time in my computers class, use typing.com if we're doing straightforward typing. I mean, we have our blogs and we have all kinds of things, but we need to practice sometimes our actual typing versus hunting and pecking and then, making fun of each other. So focusing on, okay, you guys have to type in all of your classes now. We need to work on some speed. But I feel like take a step back in time, freetypinggame.net. Literally, it's freetypinggame.net.
Freetypinggame.net.
Yeah. So it's got games, it's got lessons. To me, it's a little more old school. But if your kids need to shake something up, or you need some fun, quick games for them to practice typing, and it's been a while, or you're just like, hey, we're gonna do stations today, and they're
Yeah.
gonna like rotate through. You got to make the duck dance, so get your letters on board and type faster. So it's just kind of fun to like mix it up a little bit and try out some other things. And so it's just freetypinggame.net.
Freetypinggame.com. It looks like freedy.
.net.
Oh, .net. .net.
.net.
Freedyping. That's what it looks like. Freedyping
Yeah.
game.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. There's lessons, there's tests, there's a scoreboard, there's all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of options, but it's just a quick throw it out there, make the duck dance, see how fast you can type.
Cool.
Ready, set, go.
Yeah, great. I'll
Yeah.
make the duck dance.
Make the duck dance. And our last site you were playing earlier today.
I was. This game is awesome.
Yes.
It's cool. Well, I'll let you.
talk.
I'll let you. Do you want me to introduce it? Well,
Sure. Why don't you go for it? You've been playing for a while.
In my free time, when I'm sitting around, I like to play these little games on.
Just don't know to you game on your phone.
It's a game on my phone. Yeah,
But
I don't
but
have.
at least it's not Gems. It's not Candy Crush.
It's not. Yeah,
But it's Star
currently
Wars.
playing Star Wars Game of Heroes or Galaxy of Heroes. I was playing. It's like Hero Quest or something. I don't even know.
I don't know.
But I don't have a gaming console by design because I know that I'd want to play it all the time.
Yeah, so you just hang out and
So
play on your phone.
it's like one of those things I don't want to waste my time with, but
But
I
you
will.
do sometimes.
I do.
Yeah.
I do want to sometimes. So, so I'll play on my phone. Anyway, there's this game that we're going to talk about right now called CodeCombat.com, and that game allows you to learn how to code Python in a really cool way, or Java, or
I think Coffee's in there.
I think and it's free, but unlike the block coding, you're actually learning command lines. Like you have to type out the command lines and move the character using code, but it's like really well done. It's like very well animated, and it's very highly gamified. So it's
like you feel like you're in a video game.
Right.
It's called Code Combat, and
Yep.
it's in the Kinthgard dungeon. So you start off in the dungeon.
Yep.
And you're trying to earn gems. So if you can think, I keep thinking like I'm in Gems in the Deep right now, which is like level 2. Clearly, I've been not playing like you have.
Right.
But I think of like Zelda.
Yeah, it feels
Kinda.
that way. Yep.
Like not like real Zelda, but it feels like you're in a dungeon. There's these weird things on fire floating around the screen. And you have to make your character like successful collecting these gems. In order to do that, you have to code in Python, which makes me super excited that we're not block coding to create a game. Because my kids would want to just click and move the blocks all the time.
But it gets even better.
Yeah.
Because so you learn how to write, like, you learn syntax, all the different things, variables, loops, parameters, strings, and then once you finish the 42 levels of the dungeon, you move on to game development. You learn how to build your own levels of games, and then website development and if-else statements. They go through all these different things. It feels kind of like a more gamified version of Duolingo is for learning languages.
Okay.
Where you unlock more complicated lessons as you move along. But you're incentivized by the gaming.
Right, because you're trying to get your character through and be successful.
And
you can you can just play. So if you just want to try it out and play, you can just have your kids jump on one day and play.
They don't even need to log in.
Nope, they can literally just click play the game. But you also can log in and then save where you ended and your characters and all that stuff. And actually, as a teacher, you can sign up and give your students a classroom code, and then you can house your classroom.
Can you see have you signed up? You don't know if
I don't know because I haven't had students connect to it yet.
Oh yeah, look at that. Set up a class, add your students, monitor progress, create your free teacher account.
Yeah. So I knew. Yeah.
So
it's
that's
all
nifty.
there too. I knew you could sign your kids up. I didn't know how much you could go from there. So yeah, so you can house your whole class there, and it's pretty sweet.
Wow.
So this week will be Codecami. I've had kids play it before because we kind of test things out and they give me feedback. But I have a new group right now, and I'm only on like week 5 of having them in my computer class, so we haven't gotten to our full-blown coding stuff yet. It's kind of been like introductory. Okay, we got some time. We're going to do some coding for some robots today, or we're going to code some stuff for here, depending on time. And then I spend like 2 full weeks on coding, and we haven't got there yet. So,
but I'm telling you, like, this compared to the block coding stuff, like, block coding is good for getting you to know, like, move forward 40.
And, like, what a loop does, and conditionals and things like that.
But this gets you into the, like, how to write that stuff.
Yeah, information.
And it's really well done. And also, you can log in with your Google account. So
yes,
you
single sign-on.
can also log in with Facebook, but that doesn't matter. So, yeah, check that out. That's codecombats.com. And if you just go to codecombat.com, it gives you all the explanation in the front. If you go to /play, that's where all the games are. So
now I know what you'll be doing. Maybe less Star Wars and more Code Combat?
No, probably still Star Wars, but
nice.
I know how to code. So.
That's true. You do.
I mean, I could probably learn a lot from this website, but
yeah, maybe here and there. Anyway, yeah, all the coding things.
Wow.
Now you got some new things to try out in your classroom.
As the 15-year-old says.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah.
Try them out. Try out some of the new coding stuff, and then tell us how your kids are using it.
Yeah.
Like maybe you've built barns last week, so now you can tell us how you're coding this week.
That's right.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on Twitter @SmartNWI. And if you ever want more information on the links to the technology discussed in this episode, you can visit smartnwi.com. Check out the EdTech directory.
Yeah.
It is loaded up now.
Boom.
New episodes each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed in this podcast and the Smart and WI website are those of the author, Shanna Martin, and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed on this podcast, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantee that these tools will work for you as described, but we hope they do, and we will talk to you again next time on the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast.